Here's a truth that's going to sting a little. If you keep doing what most people do with money, you'll end up exactly where most people end up, living paycheck to paycheck, drowning in debt, working for decades just to survive, and retiring with regrets. That's not a guess. It's a fact. In the United States, over 60% of adults have less than $1,000 in savings. Worldwide, the average person is closer to financial struggle than financial freedom. And it's not because they're lazy or stupid or unlucky. It's because no one ever taught them the principles, the timeless, universal laws that govern wealth. Brian Tracy, one of the world's most respected success coaches, spent his life studying those laws. After working his way up from nothing, he built businesses, created wealth, and mentored millions on how to achieve financial independence. And according to Tracy, financial freedom isn't about luck or magic or even massive income. It's about principles, 21 specific principles that, if you follow them, will completely change your financial future. Today, we're going to dive into those principles and translate them into actionable, real-world strategies you can use starting now. Whether you're trying to get out of debt, build wealth, retire early, or simply stop worrying about money, this video will be your roadmap. Because financial freedom isn't reserved for the lucky, it's built by the disciplined. And if you commit to these 21 principles, your future will never be the same. Money touches every part of your life. It's not just about buying things. It's about choice. It's about control. It's about the freedom to live on your terms. But before you can master money, you have to master your mindset about money. That's where Brian Tracy's first principle begins. Take 100% responsibility. Most people blame circumstances, the economy, their boss, their parents, the government. But blaming means giving away your power. Financial freedom starts when you say, "I'm in control of my financial life." That mindset shift alone will change how you act, think, and make decisions about money. The second principle is one of the most underrated truths about wealth. Spend less than you earn. It sounds obvious, but the majority of people don't do it. They live at, or above, their income level. They buy things to impress people they don't even like. They finance lifestyles they can't afford. But wealth isn't about how much you make. It's about how much you keep. Make it a rule to save at least 10–20% of everything you earn. Pay yourself first before you pay anyone else. When you do that consistently, your wealth grows, not because of luck, but because of discipline. The third principle is to have clear financial goals. Money is a tool. And like any tool, it's only useful if you know what you're building. Don't just say, "I want to be rich." Be specific. I want $1 million invested by age 50. I want to retire with passive income of $5,000 a month. I want to pay off my mortgage in 10 years. The clearer your goals, the faster your brain and behavior align to achieve them. Brian Tracy often says, goals are the fuel in the furnace of achievement. Write them down. Read them daily. Adjust them as you grow. The fourth principle is to pay yourself first and automate it. Most people save what's left after spending. The wealthy do the opposite. They save before they spend. If you make $5,000 a month, immediately set aside 15–20% for saving and investing the moment you're paid. Automate transfers into a separate account or investment portfolio. When you pay yourself first, you force your lifestyle to adapt to what's left, and your wealth starts compounding in the background. The fifth principle is to control debt and use it strategically. Debt is not always bad, but most people use it recklessly. They finance liabilities, cars, clothes, vacations, that lose value. Wealthy people use debt to acquire assets, real estate, businesses, income-producing investments. If you're carrying high-interest consumer debt, make eliminating it a top priority. Then, once you're debt-free, learn how to leverage low-interest debt to build wealth. The sixth principle is to invest early and consistently. Time is the most powerful force in wealth building. If you invest $500 a month starting at 25 and earn an average 8% annual return, you'll have over $1.4 million by 65. If you wait until 35, that number drops to about $600,000. The earlier you start, the harder compound interest works for you, and consistency is key. Don't try to time the market. Automate regular contributions and let time and compounding do the heavy lifting. The seventh principle is to educate yourself about money. The average person spends thousands of hours watching TV or scrolling social media, but almost no time learning how money actually works. The wealthy treat financial education like a lifelong project. Read books on investing, attend seminars, follow experts, study markets. The more you understand, the better your decisions, and the fewer costly mistakes you'll make. The eighth principle is to diversify your income streams. Relying on a single paycheck is risky. What happens if you lose your job? What happens if your industry changes? Wealthy people build multiple streams: a salary, side businesses, rental income, dividends, royalties, online income. Each stream adds security and accelerates your path to freedom. Start with one, maybe a small side hustle, then expand. The ninth principle is to own assets, not just income. Income pays the bills. Assets build wealth. Assets are things that put money in your pocket whether you work or not. Stocks, bonds, real estate, businesses, intellectual property. Focus on building a portfolio of income-producing assets that grow over time. That's how you transition from working for money to having money work for you. The 10th principle is to embrace delayed gratification. Most people trade long-term wealth for short-term pleasure. They spend today and hope tomorrow will work itself out. But every dollar you delay spending is a dollar that can compound and multiply. The wealthy understand that small sacrifices now lead to massive rewards later. The discipline to say, "not yet," is one of the greatest financial superpowers you can develop. The 11th principle is to plan for emergencies. Life is unpredictable. Jobs are lost, medical bills appear, economies crash. An emergency fund, typically 3 to 6 months of living expenses, keeps you from going into debt when life happens. It gives you stability, peace of mind, and the freedom to make long-term decisions without fear. The 12th principle is to surround yourself with financially intelligent people. Your financial future is heavily influenced by the people you spend time with. If everyone around you is broke, reckless, or negative about money, you'll likely adopt the same habits. But if you surround yourself with people who think bigger, invest smarter, and manage money wisely, you'll naturally rise to their level. Seek mentors, join groups, learn from those ahead of you. The 13th principle is to track your money. Every dollar. What gets measured gets managed. Create a simple budget or use apps to track income, expenses, savings, and investments. This isn't about restriction. It's about awareness. When you know where your money is going, you can make conscious decisions about where you want it to go. The 14th principle is to continuously increase your earning ability. Saving and investing are powerful, but the fastest way to accelerate wealth is to make more money. And the best investment you can ever make is in yourself, your skills, your knowledge, your ability to create value. Learn high-income skills. Ask for raises. Start side businesses. The more value you provide, the more income you attract. The 15th principle is to avoid lifestyle inflation. Most people spend more as they earn more. New cars, bigger houses, expensive habits. But if you increase your income and don't increase your expenses at the same rate, you create a wealth gap. That gap, the difference between what you earn and what you spend, is where financial freedom is born. The 16th principle is to give back. This may seem counterintuitive. How does giving help you become financially free? But generosity creates abundance. It reinforces that money is a tool, not a master. And it opens doors in relationships, opportunities, and mindset that hoarding never will. Even when you're building wealth, commit to giving a percentage to causes you care about. It changes your relationship with money. The 17th principle is to protect what you build. Wealth isn't just about growing money, it's about keeping it. That means having insurance, proper estate planning, legal protection, and smart tax strategies. The more you grow, the more there is to lose. So make sure your foundation is secure. The 18th principle is to think long-term. Most people think in days and weeks. The wealthy think in decades. Every financial decision you make, spending, saving, investing, should be considered through a long-term lens. Ask yourself, will this help me 10 years from now? Long-term thinking prevents short-term mistakes and builds lasting wealth. The 19th principle is to build passive income. True financial freedom isn't just about having money. It's about having time. Passive income, money that flows in whether you work or not, is the key. Whether it's dividends, rental income, royalties, or automated businesses, passive income lets you design your life instead of living on someone else's terms. The 20th principle is to create a vision for your financial future. Wealth without purpose is empty. Why do you want money? What will it allow you to do? Who will it help? What kind of life do you want to build? That vision will guide every financial choice you make, and it will give meaning to the discipline required to get there. And finally, the 21st principle is persistence. Wealth doesn't happen overnight. There will be setbacks, market crashes, job losses, unexpected expenses. Most people give up when things get hard, but those who build lasting wealth keep going. They learn, adapt, and stay committed to their vision. Persistence turns financial principles into financial freedom. Here's the truth. Financial freedom is not a dream. It's not reserved for the lucky few. It's a formula, a set of principles that anyone can follow. But you have to decide to follow them. You have to make the choice that you will no longer be average with money, that you will no longer settle for financial stress, that you will build a life of freedom, security, and choice. And the best time to start is not tomorrow. It's not when the economy improves or when you get a raise. The best time is now, because every dollar you save, every hour you invest in learning, every small financial decision you make compounds into something extraordinary over time. Imagine your life 5, 10, 20 years from now, debt-free, financially secure, living where you want, doing what you love, answering to no one. That future is possible, and it's built not by luck, but by principles, the very principles you now know. So start today. Pick one or two of these principles and put them into action immediately. Then add more, layer them, build momentum. Over time, you'll watch your finances and your future transform before your eyes. Money doesn't care about your past. It doesn't care about your background, your education, or your mistakes. It only cares about how you handle it now. And now that you know the rules, you have no excuse not to win. Financial freedom is waiting. The only question is, will you build it?